Okay. Let's avoid that this time again. And let's get right back into collecting some starfell seeds, y'all. Alright, let's get back into collecting some starfell seeds, y'all. Gosh, yeah. I'm looking forward to this whole event stuff going on this weekend, and surely next week I'll talk all about what's happened, of course. Not necessarily so specifically excited about the event itself, more so excited about like what's oh shoot, my phone needs to be plugged in. More so just about hanging out with friends and stuff. Hi Cinnamon, you want to come on up? You can sit down right up here. There's a bit of room there for you. Oh, that's right, I should also bring some Tonto Kore to play it out with some friends. Have you? Oh, also, in my, wait. Oh, but yeah. It doesn't differentiate between AM and PM. That's a thing. That's right. Okay, so anyway, in my ongoing want, will, and desire to, have more games that I could play, I kind of maybe came up with a new sort of tabletop game that uses magic decks to determine what the characters can do. So it's, like, imagine like D&D and you encounter problems like, oh hey, there's, walking down a corridor, there's a 10-foot pit in the middle of it. How are you supposed to get across? And it's like, okay, well, I don't know, I have this card grappling hook. I'll use my grappling hook to get across. So, oh hey, I don't know, there's no 10-foot pole card. Yeah. It's like, oh, well, I have, like this creature that I can summon in. It has flying. I'll use this.
Morning.
So each one of the players takes, a hand of 7 cards, because, that's usual for Magic. Maybe this would be something different. And then they can play cards to overcome obstacles and challenges. Oh, but it's like, someone would just make a deck and just have, like, only the most, like, high-end cards. Like, well... yeah, and also, what purpose are lands, then? Well, in order to, pay for using a card, you would have to discard a number of cards equal to, like, the mana value, discarding either lands that could tap for the color wanted, or else cards of the color needed for the colored mana pips, and just any cards for the other pips. With the idea that cards that get discarded this way... cards that get discarded this way will shuffle back into the deck when a deck runs out, but cards used this way won't. And then you can go on adventures that way. So eventually, pretty much all the cards will eventually, get used. Or maybe only lands or stuff that could tap for mana pips would actually count as colors, and all other cards would just count as generic costs. So, an artifact-only deck would be very useful, because you wouldn't need to waste any card slots with lands. Although utility lands could also prove useful because then you
There's
can
something
just
I'd
go,
like
it's
to
like,
tell
oh
you.
yeah? It's like, the golem's coming after me, huh? Boom! I'll play whatever that one card is, and I'll give myself protection from artifacts for this turn. So I see it on, yeah. Go through with initiative. On each player's turn of initiative, they draw one card, then they can play whatever. And they can choose to forgo their turn and draw like 2 cards or 3 cards, whatever. An extra 1 or 2 cards. And of course, there's like a lot of stuff to be, worked out, made more relevant. Because a person could very well just, oh hey, I'll go first. Turn 1, draw a card. Use this 7-drop. Have an entire deck of just 7 drops, just so they have a big, awesome play they can do turn 1 of each combat. It's like, okay, throw away all these cards, and boom, 7-drop.
Let the adventuration begin!
Yeah, any blue cards that could produce, draw more cards than they cost to get rid of. Would be an issue. Mana rocks would be a curious issue. It's like, oh yeah, if someone has like a signet, normally that's +1 mana. Should they be able to just discard it to like filter mana through? Because that almost seems fair. But then it's like, okay, what about if they use a Gilded Lotus? Because that taps for 3 mana, but it costs like 5. So do they have to pay 5 to use it for only 3 mana? Like, would it filter, like, discard 5 non-land cards and a Gilded Lotus? So discarding 6 total cards to get 3 mana of one color? Like, that seems not such a good thing. And of course, Black Lotus, 3 mana of any one color immediately. It's like, yeah, Black Lotus is broken, of course. I'm almost thinking it might be better to do this with limited decks.
Going somewhere?
Yeah, get your limited deck, do the whatever stuff, and then it's like, okay, everyone take your card pool, and boom, let's try this. Maybe it'll go well, maybe it won't, but it's simplistic enough rules. It's simple enough to try, right, Cinnamon? Okay, also, I've been low-key packing here and there for the trip, just throwing stuff in my backpack if I think I might need it. I should go and sort out all my clothes and pack some stuff for the trip there. So figure we're leaving sometime on Friday. So, wear a change of clothes on Friday. That way, get changed Saturday morning, and then get changed again Sunday morning for the trip back. So I only need to pack 2 outfits. And like, yeah, strictly speaking, I could just pack the one, change on Saturday, do laundry, then wear it again. Or instead of, doing laundry for one outfit, I can just pack a second outfit. It's fine.
What's on the task board today?
Same stuff as it usually is. I think somebody wants some, like, medicine or whatever. Actually, maybe it's you that wants the medicine. I don't know. Yeah, I am liking the idea that when I'm done with the whole Dark Cloud, maybe also Dark Cloud 2 minimum dungeon entry challenge, that I should go and just bring back all of the old games that I started to do Let's Plays of and abandoned, which now includes Stray. This, yeah, Stray, Barbarian, there's Little Witch Nobeta, Alley. God Eater 3, I believe, I started to do a Let's Play of, and then I just kind of went on to other things instead, because that was back in, like, old format. So yeah, just pick, like... So I already... Yeah. Instead of, like, pick one game and, like, force myself to play through it, find these old games, and find people to play them with, and then just play them with someone to make them more interesting and bearable and all that stuff. For some games, I might have to start back at the beginning. For other games, just continue where I left off. So like Stray, I'd probably start at the beginning. Play with either Zero or Chandra. Hey, Cinnamon. And just, play through like that with someone to play cat physics with. Yeah, having someone to awe over the cat as well would be fun.
All right.
Yeah, Sim is sitting on my desk right now because he wants to be near me. Which is absolutely adorbs. I wonder if I could start a new game and
Come visit us
have
soon.
an insane difficulty unlocked. So yeah. That's, a bi-day. So that will become one of the bi-daily videos. So I'm hoping to finish, 7 games to do this with. I've been working on one of the 7, so once I've done that, just 6 to go. So yeah, I want to finish 7 games to do this with by the time I'm done with this new Dark Cloud Challenge run. And then I can go and just set them all to upload, and I'll be good for like a long time. I mean, each one video, represents like 2 weeks of content for that show.
Come visit us soon.
So if one of the games only has like 3 episodes, which frankly it shouldn't, then that's still like 6 weeks worth of uploads because it'll only go up every other week. So that's still like a lot of uploads. Yeah, so if I can manage to get a 26-parter, I can be good for one of the games for literally a year. Which kind of feels insane. Oh, also been playing getting into Animal Crossing again. My mom's been getting into it. So I've been getting into it, and I was all like, yeah, sure, I'll keep track of like turnip prices on my island, and then like while doing my primarily while doing air drying for my, twice daily upkeeps, I just decided it's like, hey, I wake up in the morning and I have basically an hour where I do nothing but just like lie in bed. Yeah, sure, and I'll do Animal Crossing for that hour. Check up
Why are
on
you
turnip
goody
prices and all
two-shoes?
that. On Sundays, buy turnips. That's nice for that. Also, yesterday I put a bunch of info and stuff on the micro SD card I put in my phone, so now I have all of Reincarnated as a Sword in PDF form on it. So that's kind of fun. I can read that. I think I'm probably going to be doing a lot of Animal Crossing. I mean, it is, a couple of hours long drive to get to Empton, then a couple of hours long drive to get back. And I'll just be like myself and Kirian in the car there. Well, and also the dog. So, might do some talking. Might try brewing up some decks together.
All right.
Yeah, she'll be focused on driving. I'll be free to do other stuff. Could also do some Animal Crossing, fix up island, whatever.
Let us be off.
So, all that stuff. Go. So, yeah. Just have to make sure that I get everything all packed up and ready to go for the trip. So, I'm almost good with it. I just need to also pack up a couple of commander decks to bring along with me. I figure I'll just bring the Grimoire. Pack 6, maybe 7 decks in there. Have the extra the Planeswalker, yeah, the Super Planeswalker deck in its own bin, its own box, and I think also my artifact deck in its own box. So 8 commander decks should be good for like, 1 day worth of commander.
I'm so glad
And
to
I
see
like
you
the
again.
idea that I had, was because it seems like some of the other members are going to be buying the package that comes with some amount of commander entry tickets. And if they just play casual events, I think that's 8 games worth of tickets. I'm not sure. 8 casual games, which means they'll get at least 8 booster packs, more if they, win games. And if they win a quarter of the games they play, 4 people, 25% win rate is to be expected. I think that would be about 10. I don't know if it is 8 entries. It might be 10, might be 12, but if they get like 10 booster packs, they can make quite a nice sealed deck out of that. And then after the whole event, take the boosters, if we aren't already sick of playing Magic, take the boosters, open up, make some decks, and play. I'll be going in events as I wish. I figure I'll do one of the bigger entries to start with.
Come visit us soon.
Because, $10 entry, $10 entry for $40 worth of store credit if I win. Pull out the artifact deck and go, alright, let's have some fun. I did email face-to-face to see if, proxies would be allowed in those games and have not received any word in either way about it, so I'll have to, bring a couple of cards to replace the cards that I have proxied in there, because what I have in proxies? Bazaar of Baghdad, a couple $100 card. Mishra's, I keep mixing up Mishra's Factory, Mishra's Workshop. I think it's Mishra's Factory is the one I have in there, which is, over $1,000. And Mox Diamond, which is a couple $100. Yeah, what if I can trade my Force Field card for one of those? Because I think I got the expensive copy of Force Field and not the cheap copy of Force Field. The cheap copy is still like $30, but the expensive copy is like $750?
Time for
Which
your
is
checkup.
insane. Also, apparently, even with my mouse under my desk, you can still hear it if I click. So that's unfortunate. I don't know, apparently the cheapest version according to face-to-face is still like $250. I have one of the white border ones, which according to face-to-face is either $900 or $1,000. I wish I could just trade that in for a Mishra's... want to get the right one. Mishra's Factory, I'm pretty sure. Because... Mishra's Factory taps for 3 mana, but you can only use it to cast artifact spells. It's an artifact-heavy deck. I have like 60 to 70 artifacts in the deck. That thing is so very useful, especially when I can start having stuff like copy the ability to get... Because normally lands tap for 1. No, it's not Mishra's Factory. Okay. It is Mishra's Workshop. Right. I keep trying to remember. It's the smaller sounding thing. Workshop doesn't produce as much as a factory, but the workshop land produces more than the factory land. Apparently, $5,000. Although this Mishra's Toy Workshop, tap to add 3 to your mana pool. Spends mana only on spells and abilities that put tokens onto the battlefield. Use toys to represent the tokens. See, I don't think I can trade my Force Field for Mishra's Workshop. Yeah, Mishra's Workshop is the super expensive one. Mishra's Factory is just a cheap land that's not really useful. Don't even have that in the deck. It's so mundane.
Welcome back.
Mox Diamond is just a 0-cost artifact. If it would enter the battlefield, you have to discard a land. Otherwise, Mox Diamond just goes straight to the graveyard without ever hitting the battlefield. And let's see, the cheapest one that I can find on here. There's one for $800. Looks like the $800. Nope, there's a $750 one that's out of stock. So I could theoretically trade my Force Field for a Mox Diamond. I'd do that trade. Force Field isn't as useful to me as the Mox Diamond is. So basically, it's basic mana ramp, but it costs an extra card to do it. Specifically an extra land. So it's like you're just, you know, playing that extra land. Of course, Mox Diamond taps for any color, whereas the land might not. And I don't actually need colored mana. I prefer to have things that tap for colorless because of Forsaken Monument. Whenever I tap a permanent for colorless, I add additional colors.
Last time you showed up.
And then there's Bazaar of Baghdad, which is a land that doesn't even tap for mana. Looks like, what, 3,500? No. 3 grand is the cheapest one, apparently. They have one for $3,250. It's tap, draw 2 cards, discard 3 cards. Which sounds really bad, but it is filtering even at card disadvantage. If you have like 5 cards in hand, tap it, go up to 7, discard down to 4, but that is 2 extra cards you can have. If you have like 5 cards in your hand and none of them are useful right now, tap, draw 2 cards that could be useful, and then discard 3 not useful cards. Easy. Heck, I've had games where I had that in my opening hand, I'm like, cool, let's do it. Turn 1, Bazaar of Baghdad, use that, and then if I don't get any of my, like, you know, Mana Crypt, not Mana Vault, Mana Crypt, Mox Diamond, Mox Opal, you know, Zeo drop useful stuff. Lotus Petal, that's the one I was blanking on. If I don't get any of those, then oh well. Normally I keep it if I have like a sawing or something in hand, because I can like... But it does help me do a lot of digging over time. And especially if I get out Almahirat's Archive, which is actually a card that I used to have in the deck, like, I don't know, a decade ago, like 8 or 9 years by this point probably. I used to have it in there like forever ago, and I took it out because it wasn't good enough, but with the number of cards that I have in the deck that just like, hey, 2 mana, draw 1 card. It's, well, you know, 2 mana, draw 1 card, do another thing. It's actually fairly useful. Have that out to use Bazaar Baghdad, draw 4 cards, discard 3. Not only are you filtering through useful cards and get rid of cards that aren't useful, you also draw 4, discard 3. That's still a +1 in card advantage if I get both of those out. So Bazaar Baghdad is okay enough to run in the deck without doing stuff to work with it. I've had opening hands where I just have like both of those in my hand and like 5 other cards, and I'm like, cool, let's do this. Turn 1, Bazaar Baghdad. Let's see what I can manage to get. Let's see if I can still get like a draw into vamp cards to get like a turn 3 Almahirat's Archive, and then Bazaar Baghdad to regrow my hand. Of course, CEDH, turn 3, people have already started to win. And it's debatable. Oh, that's why I should probably stop. Oops. I should probably stop by the bank or something on the way. Or, you know, sometime this week or while in Edmonton or whatever. Or just get a couple of $10 bills so I don't have to keep handing over my debit card every time I want to play a game. Get a thing of $10 bills and maybe another roll of toonies, because I think I used up the whole roll of toonies I had when I went to Animathon. Heck, I could just get the roll of toonies, but that would limit me to only like... screw it. Get 5 $10 bills and a roll of toonies. $100. If I don't wind up using them all, I can bring them to Comic-Con. I like having, you know, physical money instead of using my debit card to buy things at conventions. Just because, like, it's easier that way, whatever. Because normally things at conventions don't have tax applied to them, usually. And I've seen that happen where things at conventions don't have tax applied to them as long as you pay with cash. So, like, there is that going for it. But if that's that, what is this? Okay, weird. Anyway. So it's like, as long as you pay with cash, you don't have to worry about tax, so that's pretty cool. But also just having the cash around is just more... It's just... Maybe not as easy as just pulling out debit card and using it, boop, 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 boop. But it is... I don't know. If I lose a bit of cash, I lose a bit of cash. If I lose my debit card, that could be really bad, you know? Also, it sometimes is faster, because they don't have to, like, bring out the portable debit machine, type in the stuff, pass it over, It's like, oh, it's $10? Here's a $10 bill. Let's do the trade. Let's get that done. So, you know, there is that going for it. And some stands there... I was going to say some of the stands don't accept debit, but that's not so much the thing. Okay, I wonder if I should bring my White Mage outfit to wear to the Magic event. It's not actually a Magic the Gathering character, so I'm thinking maybe not. And I will have a chance to wear it, like, you know, next weekend. Foam.
All right. Yes.
Okay, I would love to manage to snag a couple of people. Oh. Okay, yeah, I would love to manage to snag a couple of people to try out these weird tabletop game ideas that I have. Just because, you know, they're weird and arbitrary, but could be fun to try. Like that idea I had for, what is it? The Made RPG using Chronicle cards thing. Oh yeah, I think I probably will bring my tablet along.
Nice.
Down to Amateur. Yeah, the issue with bringing the tablet is not just bringing the tablet, but also bringing, like, the charger for it, and bringing the special charging block for it, which means I have to bend all the way over my dresser to pull it out of the
I await whatever
power
the day may
bank, whatever, and it's like, ugh. But regardless. I found out in Animal Crossing, not only can you just make designs and be all, like, arbitrary with that, you can put the designs on the ground so you can make your own floor paths. So I had a bit of fun with that. I had a couple of hours hanging out with Azura, and I was just kind of sitting there on my Swish, just bloop, 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 bloop. Made some nice tree-lined paths along the sides of my island, you know. Starting to decorate things. It's not, like, perfect yet, But I've been working on it. What if I can move the shop? That would be useful if I could do that.
All right.
Let the adventuration begin!
I don't know. I do have all that, tabletop recording stuff all set up and ready. So that'd be fun to do. Oh gosh, yeah, when Frost... I need to get my recordings, like, ready and stuff. So when Frosthaven gets here, I'll be just good and ready to go to just record an arbitrary amount of Frosthaven for the next, like, good long while. Like, if that comes out before I finish my minimum dungeon entry challenges, I'm probably going to start doing... Probably going to, have that be a bi-daily thing for a good while as well. Because I mean, even if I do just one... Like, remember the Gloomhaven episodes I occasionally have going along? If I have one episode per scenario, like, this is supposed to have, like, easily over 100 scenarios. If I do it on a weekly basis, that would be, like, 2 years of Frosthaven weekly uploads. At least if I do it every other day, it would only be a couple of months. Could pretty easily be a good 6 or 7 months of bi-daily Frosthaven. Or, again, 2 years of once a week. It's like, nope, Sundays are done. Sundays are good. I am through with the Sunday. I'm through with, like, this Sunday upload. You have it be on the once every fortnight, or once every 2 weeks video, and just, yeah, nope, next 4 years, Frosthaven. I have videos set to upload all the way through 2026. Thank you. Oh. No, but bi-daily stuff, whatever, and then it's just Frosthaven, 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 Frosthaven. I don't think I'll necessarily edit the videos, because I could...
I wonder if anyone needs help.
Because it would be a nice idea to, cut down on all of the shuffling and stuff, but shuffling those little decks is not that hard. Again, though, I will be wanting to do 4-character Frosthaven, like I did with 4-character, 1-player Gloomhaven, and just more or less go insane about it. It's like, okay, boom, 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 play it out. But I won't fall into the trap of increasing the difficulty level arbitrarily right at the beginning, because at the very beginning of the game, when you're level 1 with very few items, working with teamwork doesn't give you that much of an advantage. There's a point where it does start giving you that much of an advantage, but I think I won't start on, like, normal. I'll start on easy. So I'll still have to do the +1 level, but I'll start on easy.
I have eagerly awaited your
Oh, God, now that could be an idea. Play through the game, and while I play, I type out, like, a storyline to go, like, with the events of what's going on. Give the characters, like, my own names and personalities and all that. And so it's like, okay, it's like the 4 of them on a dungeon, and, like, Sashin the Brute, like, stands up front and pounds at his chest, decreeing for the bandits to come after him. Meanwhile, just off, right behind him, just off his flank, Claire's there, ready and waiting. Yes, I name a character after myself. Bite me. Ready and waiting to get, and, like, whatever, like, write it all out as a story,
Nice.
and then narrate what's going on in the Gloomhaven, or Frosthaven in this case, what's going on in Frosthaven with the story that I wrote about it. A lot of extra arbitrary amounts of things, but
Welcome back. I've
it
been
does seem
waiting
like
for
that
you.
could be fun. So instead of just me going, what should I do? This would be more beneficial, but that risks doing that. I could just do it. It's like, and then she pauses. Is realizing that, well, she could likely take out the banner in one fatal strike. There's always the chance for failure. Things have been going a bit too well so far. Things have been going a bit too well so far. Blah, 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 blah. So, you know, have the recording going on the entire time, so a 1 hour, session might take a good 3 hours to record this way. But I'll also get, a cloth or something to throw onto, to put on the table to demonstrate to the me who's in editing that, hey, cut this part out. Oh, gosh. And if I did... Yeah, do the, do multicam setup, too. Multicam setup, plus a third space to put my tablet to type all this stuff out on. Boop, 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 boop. Well, everything's... Now, that would be fun. And that's the thing, that sounds like that'd be fun to do. I've had a lot of fun with the play a commander game and type it out as a story type stuff in the past. So that would be fun to do, and who knows, maybe I can get some friends to come along and,
Congratulations.
voice different characters.
999th adventure. I kid.
Have some friends to come along and voice certain characters. Hey, here's, a page and a half of script lines for this character that I would like you to do if you would so kindly do it. And it's coolio. But for the most part, it'd just be me. It'd be me. Because it's about 3 hours, I'm guessing, of recording. And then probably another 2 or so hours of editing it all together. Because I have to, splice all of... Yeah, transfer all of the stuff to my computer. That should only take a few minutes. But then I have to splice everything... Yeah, I have to spend a solid hour recording everything that happens. Make sure that the recording is good for a solid hour. Which, I mean, you've heard me talking for an hour at a time. It's usually pretty darn good, but not darn perfect. You know?
Swing by the forge whenever you please.
So, 1 hour of actual playtime. And it would take... It usually takes at least twice as long to write about a thing than it does to play the thing. So an hour of playtime, 2 hours of typing, so 3 hours just to record it, transfer it up, another hour for the voiceover work, and then probably a good hour. I'd have to basically go over it in entirety and keep cutting out parts to make sure that it fits well. So probably a good hour or two to get... So yeah, 3 hours to record, an hour to do the voice, so 4 hours.
Nice.
So another hour to go over it, so 5 hours. With potentially probably a whole extra hour of... tweaking and make sure everything is good. So probably 6 hours of work for a 1 hour video.
Can you prep the kitchen for me?
No. 6 hours of work for 1 hour video for at least 100 videos. A lot of work, but I think I'll do that at least once, see how that goes, and if it's something that is not a drain on me, I'll consider doing it more. And I'll start, you know, doing that and having some fun with that. But of course, Frosthaven has to get here first. And then I have to go get my whole recording set up all ready. Give the characters names, identities, and personalities. But also I get to do voices. I like doing voices, especially like nice and corrupted voices. But if I do that for too long, it hurts. What is the matter, young darling?
999th adventure.
Yeah.
Kid.
Have I never seen the paladin before? It's almost a partial Daffy Duck voice. Whatevs. Yeah. Make a nice big story about it, and then, I don't know, put up this story on like Wattpad or something, and then just like, if people just want to read it, here you go. Get the whole... Oh my god. So I don't know how much each individual... And then, of course, that's... No. Do that for the stories of, like, what's happening, like, in the dungeons and stuff. But what happens to them between dungeons is going to be, like, part of its own separate thing. So in the videos, you only see what happens when they're in the dungeons. And I guess you'd also see, like, what happened, like... You get, like, an idea of what happens outside dungeons, but not the full picture. So if you want the full picture, you have to read the stories. And then you see, like... Yeah, so... Video starts, it's going in the, like, pre-dungeon spiel. They get into the dungeon, and they do their whatever stuff there. Right? And then, post-dungeon in spiel, they get back... Oh, yeah. Also, I guess it'd be road event, pre-dungeon spiel, all the dungeon content, post-dungeon spiel, and then they get back and do a city event. You know, I think road event should be included, city event would not. And that's assuming that Frosthaven still has the road and city events. I think it does, but I don't know for sure. And then, yeah, if the audience wants to know about the stuff that happens between adventures, they would have to read about it. So all the stuff about, like, the characters going out to the shop and buying new gears and stuff, it's like, hey, we got it. Good old haul. It's like, hey, yo, Marissa and I were gonna go out to the shops and buy some supply. Hey, you want anything? It's like, I got my magic shield from that last dungeon. What else do I need? I'm gonna go and donate some to the church, but for the most part, I'll just stick. Yeah, I'll go donate some to the church in the morning, but for the most part, I'll just stick around here. I'm good. Oh god, those fancy items. Get a nice shield of, you know, +1 defense and all that stuff. All of the interesting, unique character designs and whatnot. I'm actually starting to be kind of excited about this, but excitement flares up and then dies out way too quickly. In my perspective. This is literally my 3rd video in a row of me just smashing starfall seeds, okay? Listen. A day is like 3 flippin' hours. I mean, to be fair. Almost half of... Okay, a day is like an hour and a half. Half the time of the episodes has been loading screens. Fair. But, like, still... I'm going to have more Starfall seeds than I'll ever need, ever. Good. So yeah, go and find out a whole story about everything that happens. I do want to invest a bit in at very least, like, a better keyboard for writing on. because the keyboard of my tablet is not very good for typing, especially because I have to lock the mouse. Or else sometimes while typing, the cursor just decides, I got clicked! I'm going to go and select this last paragraph of text you wrote while you're in the middle of typing, so when you next type a letter, it deletes the last paragraph. Or it's like, oh, you clicked me, I happen to be on the X button, I'm just going to close your document, or like, whatever. It's like, oh, I got clicked, I'm going to go and do stuff. It's like, I didn't come close to touching you. It's like, well, you touched the base near the keyboard, and that's basically the same thing as touching the keyboard, as touching the trackpad itself. So I'm going to be clicked, and I'm going to do things. It's like, don't... So, yeah. If I ever want to type, I have to do a thing like lock the mouse so it doesn't move at all, doesn't get clicked. And then if I want to actually like move to click on something, I have to unlock the mouse, move it, do the stuff, get back to writing, lock the mouse. Like if I want to just like, oh hey, shoot, I realized that I missed a period like a paragraph ago. Unlock mouse, move it up. Otherwise, just use arrow keys. Ding 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 ding. Period. Ding 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 to get all the way back, and it's like very annoying. I remember I used to have this little netbook, and I still actually have that computer. It's just loaded with so much junk that it's basically unresponsive. I'm thinking maybe plug my thumb drive in there, take out anything useful that's on it, like all my old, documents or whatever. Take anything useful off of it, put it on the drive, and then like factory reset the netbook, and then just use that for typing on again. Or I could just get another new netbook, but do I really want to spend another $400? Maybe I should go and check up to see if I can get just like a netbook keyboard, connect that to the tablet. Easy enough. I'd also, I think, need a multi-tab USB port for my tablet, because it only has one USB port. So if I'm going to be plugging in a webcam if I'm going to be plugging in 2 webcams for a dual cam setup, plus a keyboard, probably also plus a mouse, like... just like turn off on one side, type out story in front of me, play game, go off to the other side, there's, game story stuff, boom, 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 boom. Just, maybe I should invest in a proper sit-in chair, because right now, the only chair that I have that I can use, well, technically I do have a beanbag chair, but that's very small and super low to the ground and would not be useful for sitting at a table with. And I have a broken chair that I used to use. Yeah, one day I went sat it broke. Don't know what's up with that, but it broke. And I have like this chair that I've been sitting in that Chandra and I basically rescued from the dumpster. I mean, the more I think about it, the more I think maybe we should have rescued a separate one. We rescued the one that looked to be in the best condition, but it was still going to go out to the dumpster. Yeah, I like the idea of like the little community around my building being in so far as such as to, like, I went to like toss out old cat tower that I had when I got a new one, and it's like I found the cat tower out by the dumpster, I took it in, used it with my cats, at the time it was cats, for about a year or two, got a new cat tower. When I got Nemo, I got the family cat tower as well, which I still have. Went to throw out the old cat tower that I had found in the trash. Or, out by the trash, whatevs. And then, as I'm taking it out, someone's like, oh, are you throwing that away? We just got a cat. Can I have it? I'm like, you know what? Sure, absolutely. You take this thing. I hope your cats enjoy it. Which sounds like I'm being petty and sarcastic, but no, I hope that the person's cats enjoy that cat tower. It's like, I got this for free. You want it for free? You can have it for free. And then a part of me is thinking, like, when they go to throw out their cat tower, someone else is going to take it. And, like, a cat tower that someone... Like, I don't know the full story of that cat tower. But from what I know, it's been getting a lot of use.
Yes!
I'm still a little bit stunned by the idea that I might be able to, well, not just me, myself and Azura together would actually be able to, like, afford a proper, like, 1,000 square foot house. And, like, I don't know exactly the measurements, but, like, 1,000 square feet is a fair bit of house. It's not like, you know, a mansion, of course, but it's a fair bit of house for just that much price. Have my own downstairs, I don't know why I want it in the basement, but I want it in the basement. Have a nice table there, like nice fancy table with all, so people can come over and play, you know, D&D and board games and all that stuff, but also use that same table for my recording, get it, like, because even though my 3-foot by 3-foot ratty old table is actually perfect for, like, every board game I play, and when I go to do Frosthaven episodes, you're going to see exactly what I mean by it's the perfect size. Yeah, you're going to see exactly what I mean by saying that's the perfect size.
I'll do my best.
Like, it always... Oh, God. The way that the Gloomhaven boards worked was that the boards, like, had, like, tabs on them, and you could, like, kind of click them together. Not really click them, but you could, like, put them together, and they'd kind of lock in place a little bit. You know, like puzzle pieces, but less precise. So you could put them together in a variety of different ways. They were double-sided as well, so that helped with things. So you could, like, put the boards... I really wanted to have just a massive thing with, like, a bunch of tiles, like, spread across, like, so big that my table wouldn't actually be able to contain it. There were a couple that were so big my table could almost not contain them. But one that's just, like, all of the board pieces put together in some massive, giant thing. I remember the time when I found a program that let you design, like, Gloomhaven maps, and I wanted to make my own, like, D&D style campaign using the various board pieces. If I was, like, a child, if I had Gloomhaven when I was a child, I would absolutely have, like, set out the various board pieces on, like, the basement floor and made, like, a city, or at least, like, a village. And, like, played it with, like, the little miniatures, like, bro, it's like, hello, I am the shopkeep. Because I like doing that kind of stuff as a kid. Never got to play with dolls, so I had to make do with Legos. But still, it's like, hello, I am the shopkeep. It's like, hello, I would like to buy a potion. It's like, and then I have, like the stack of potion cards, like, kind of, like, sit there, maybe propped up against, like, a box or something, so it looks like they're up on a shelf. And it's like, oh, yes, we have lots of potion. What potion you want? It's like, he has, like, 10 gold. Like, brr, brr. I'll have the healing potion.
All right. Yes.
God. I think in D&D, potions have to be drunk to take their effects. Whatever the potion is, you have to drink it for the effect of it to, you know, work. It would be interesting if you could just, like, apply it to a person. And it's like, as long as you got hit by the healing potion, you still healed. And then you could make, like, a healer-type person who can make these potions, like, super, super easy. And they just kind of, like, slingshot them at people. It's like, okay, so you'll take 1 damage from the potion bottle hitting you, and then you'll heal 1d8 plus 2. So just chuck the healing potions at people. Ring. Just chuck the potions. It don't matter. They're fine. So what if they get hit by a few potions now and then? That's fine. It's fine.
Oh, right.
Yeah, almost time to wrap up the video, and we're still not done with this. But yeah, looking forward to Frosthaven coming out. It should be out by the end of this year. So I'm going to try to time it so I can start the new year. I started this year with Dark Cloud stuff. I'll try to start the new year, next year, 2023, with Frosthaven. Am I going to do 180 so episodes to have it be an entire year? I'm not sure, but I'm going to try for it. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be another, what is the DLC called when it's a board game? There's going to be another expansion coming out, and I'll do that or something. Yeah, if another new expansion comes out, then I don't know. Yeah. I mean, and to be fair, it's not like I'm going to win every scenario first try. And there's probably going to, I mean, in Gloomhaven, wasn't there like 130 scenarios or something? So it could very well be that all of 2023 is going, every other day of 2023 is going to be Frosthaven episode. That's going to take me like 6 or so hours to make, which feels obsessive and feels like I should get started now. I'm waiting for Frosthaven to come out, because once it comes out, like that same day, if I'm not busy with other stuff, boom, 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 just throw in the work on it, do the work on it, start, because I want to get at least like, I want to get like 5 or 6 at minimum episode, because, oh gosh, that's right, if I ever get, because instead of like 2 hours a day, that'd be 9 hours every 2 days worth of stuff. So I want to, I mean, to be fair, all the computer stuff I can do while I'm doing other things, I guess. Yeah, well, I'm just like chilling out with Azura, watching anime and stuff, or not necessarily so much while I'm air drying. Who knows, maybe adjust the computer so I can do it while I'm air drying. So actually, wait a second. May? So, hold on. June, July, August, September, October. Actually, starting in November, I'll only have to do my upkeep once a day. Probably still wind up doing it first thing in the morning, though. But then I won't have to do it at night anymore, so, I don't know, what, stay up late nights, working on the videos. I think the most annoying part is going to be doing the voiceover. If I don't do that, I can still, like, maintain it, but the voiceover is like key component for the difference between standard Frosthaven gameplay and fun Frosthaven gameplay. Yeah, should I invest in new minis for my characters? I think so. Or just use the Frosthaven minis as they are, but they would be in black and white, so meh. Oh dear gosh. Oh dear gosh, that's a lot of level 10s.
1, 2.
Okay, I got a couple. Also, notice that my rune points have not gone down at all from all of this hammering stuff. That's pretty rad. Yeah. Looking forward to doing all this Frosthaven stuff. I wish that I could start doing some parts of it now, but I won't be able to actually start until I have the game and can start playing it, because then I won't know what the story is, and I can't write the story ahead of time. Even if I knew what the scenario was, I can't start, like, I can't write, like, oh, the first few scenarios, because the specifics of what happens in the scenarios will play out as I play the game. God, the more that I think about the amount of effort required for this, the more I'm thinking, yeah, maybe don't have this be every other day. But I'll see, I guess I'll see when Frosthaven comes out and see how much time I have before the new year. Because if it comes out like mid-December, that won't really be much time. But if it comes out like November, like if I get ahead on all of my recordings, do a whole bunch before Frosthaven comes out, then I can manage to, then when Frosthaven comes out, if I can get like an extra couple of weeks of nothing, or at least Rune Factory and nothing else, because I could make, say, 2 videos a day if I spend, say, most of December doing that. Or even, I guess, write out all the stuff that happens. Boom, 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 boom. I think the hardest part would be matching up what's said to the actions, because in animation they write the script, then they record the dialogue, then they make the animation match the dialogue. But in animation they also have to do like lip flaps as well, and need to try to match those to like the, you know, how long it takes people to say something. If they put extra emphasis on one particular word that wasn't in the script, then they have to make sure that the animation matches that, so it doesn't like go off kilter, which I don't really have to worry about. But if I have like, I guess to be fair, if I have a period where it's like, and then our mage hid behind the brave warrior, clutching her arrow wound with one hand, other hand still holding up the light that the party needed to see. You have to go on without me, she cries out. I can't fight in my current state. I can't even support you. Like, you know, if I have a whole, like, long, drawn-out period there, there'll also be a long, drawn-out period of the recording as well, while I'm typing all of this. So, if, you know, the pieces on the board are in the place where they are in the story, which is why I'm writing the story at the same time as playing, then if I, you know, write like a 10-minute monologue of a character,
To what do I
I'll
owe
have a
pleasure?
like 10-20 minute piece, like I have like 20 minutes of the character standing there in the place. It won't look like, you'll need to use some imagination to actually consider like mage having an arrow wound and like holding up the light, because it'll just be like minis on a board, but it'll still be, you know, working out all much the same. It's not like I'm going, so as long as I have the pieces in the place in the story as they're being written, if you understand what any of that is. And of course, maybe sometimes I'll have like the character do an attack and they'll fail, and then I'll fluff it up in the story as the character not having made the attack at all. Because yeah, story-wise, there's no reason why a character wouldn't just use, like, the same attack over and over again. I have to create a reason why they won't. It's like, hey, this character can make a fire tornado that encompasses a bunch of enemies and deals high damage to all of them. Why don't you do that all the time? It's like, yeah, and of course it's the whole thing. It's like, yeah, it takes my magic from me, or no, that takes way too much MP to do it multiple times. Like, but then how about instead of doing that trick where you turn the floor into ice to make it difficult terrain for all of the enemies, why don't you just do fire tornado twice? If the ice trick requires much less MP than the fire trick, then just do the ice trick more than once. Like, oh, you have like mana bolt. That seems like a basic spell. Just do that more. It's like, so trying to figure out the reason why the character doesn't just do the same attack over and over again. And of course, it could be the case. Maybe the character is just doing one attack over and over again. Well, in the game, the character keeps using, is using a stamina potion to get it back. In the game, the character, used mana bolt, used stamina potion to get back mana bolt, next turn used mana bolt. But in the story, they just use mana bolt twice. Because, what is the lore in Gloomhaven that explains why characters... I don't know, maybe every character is part wizard. And that's why they can only do tricks so often. Anyway, about time for me to end this. I should be doing a ton of extra recording. After this video, I still have 4 more videos to record in the next, 3 days. But again, if I can do a ton of extra recording before Frosthaven comes out, I'll be
Don't push yourself.
Good to spend a lot more time, because if I do 2 Frosthaven episodes a day with 1 Rune Factory every other day, I'll be good for a long while. And of course, I know that I will want to do a lot of Frosthaven, because when Gloomhaven was out, I basically just woke up, Gloomhaven, went to bed. Just Gloomhaven all day long. And with this, I don't have to actually talk while I'm doing the actual Gloomhaven stuff. I can even mute the recording and then just so I can, be doing my other stuff while I'm doing that. Yeah, do another Let's Play while I'm doing the Frosthaven one. That won't be weird at all.
All right.
Gosh, next episode is probably going to be more Starfall seeds for another episode. But in the episode after that, or the end of that episode, I'm going to start using all this stuff I've been getting. Oh, that's right. Did I do my farming stuff? I need to check that out. Because if I haven't, then I am in trouble.